Welcome to another conversation in People in Fundraising. This podcast features interviews with nonprofit professionals who discuss their career journeys, lessons learned, and enthusiasm for working in fundraising. And here is your host, the founder of People in Fundraising, Tim Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 20th, 2025, and welcome to another edition in the weekly nonprofit podcast, People in Fundraising. Today is a very special episode with a special guest, Cal Sturgeon, and they are going to talk about Giving Tuesday, which is coming up on Tuesday, the first Tuesday in December. This interview will air next Monday, November 24th, to help amplify Giving Tuesday for the Apra international community. Giving Tuesday itself being on Tuesday, December 2nd. So, Cal, thank you for joining this podcast today. I would love to have you talk about a little bit who you are professionally and your Apra affiliations, and then we'll get into some questions specifically about Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I'm Cal Sturgeon. I use they, them pronouns. I'm an assistant director of relationship management at City of Hope, which is a national cancer and diabetes treatment and research hospital system based out of LA, but we have expanded all over the US now, which is exciting. I've been here about 3.5 years. And before that, I spent a decade at my alma mater doing prospect development work.
Wonderful. Thank you. And in addition to Cal's career history, they've been really involved with APRA over time. So Cal, if you would like to take a minute or so to share with our audience your involvement with APRA, what that has looked like over time, and then we can get into your experience and your motivations as a donor to the Apra Foundation, please.
Yeah, so I've always been a member of APRA the entire time I've been in this profession, which has been a wonderful career and timeline. I think within my first year, I learned about my local chapter at the time was MOCAN. That's now Heartland because we've expanded, which is exciting. So I joined that board within my first couple of years. I don't remember exact timeline, but I was the communications director for 6 years on the MOCAN board. I was part of the communications team when COVID hit. We had to quickly pivot an Upper Midwest, which was a combination of MOCAN, Great Plains, and Minnesota chapters. And we had planned this whole big conference that was going to be happening in May of 2020.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And we had to quickly pivot to make it an entirely virtual event. And through that, the person who was CPC chair that year was like, or the following year was like, I need you on my team. Like, you did a great job hosting this. Like, are you interested? And so that was my first foray into APRA International volunteering, was CPC. And then I served on CPC for a couple of years. And then I joined the board, the international board, which was very exciting. Highly recommend. Nominations are now being accepted. So plug for that. It was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. Of my professional career and personal life. I made so many great friendships through that. Just highly recommend. And I'm actually back on CPC as co-chair this year. So I'm returning to my international volunteering roots.
That's wonderful. And I work on CPC as a board liaison. It's great to connect with you and to have your expertise as a board newbie. So thank you for all the time, the years, the energy you've put into volunteering to APRA, Cal. And now if we can pivot to the main focus of our particular conversation today, we have a few questions that I'll ask you about your experiences, your motivations to give to the Apra Foundation. And before I get into the questionnaire, I would like to just quickly share my screen so people can see as they listen to Cal's conversation airing next Monday, where they can find the donation page for APRA. And so here it is, aprahome.org. The donation link is right at the top right. And we definitely appreciate people volunteering whatever they're able to, specifically for Giving Tuesday on December 2nd, but also anytime during the year. So thank you for people in my audience that consider and donate to the foundation. So Cal, for you, I first would love to know what has motivated your giving and support of the Apra Foundation, please.
Yeah, so I've been a donor just long enough. I don't remember when I first gave. So
Great.
I do not remember like my initial gift, what drove it, but I want to say it was like a matching gift or some other sort of drive for the foundation. There have been some sort of catalyst that was like, oh, right, like that's a thing I need to give to that. So my initial motivations are murky at best, but I can say I continue to give because it is so incredibly important to our profession. I have been unbelievably blessed beyond measure by my experiences with APRA, both locally and nationally or internationally. And the opportunity to give back is so rewarding. I always love seeing every year when we announce the award winners that are made possible through the foundation. I'm under no disillusion that my annual gift level is, solely responsible for that. We've had some incredible major gift donors who have contributed, along with some sponsorships that have like made that happen. But it's still nice to know that in my small part, I've helped bring people to the conference, help people further their careers in our profession. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Cal, for mentioning the awards and scholarships. Those are the main vehicles that APRA utilizes the donations from members like us in support of annual awards that are presented at PD, scholarships for people to attend conference. There's a whole host of uses for these donations. You can also find more information about how the donations are used on the foundation website. So thank you for talking about your long-term history as a donor. I'm like you, I don't know exactly my first donation amount or date. Also, it's not a major gift, but so I'm like you as well there, but it's very important for me to give back with time and also with money to see how I can, in a small way, like you said, advance someone else's career in the profession. It's really important. And second question for you, Cal, why do you think that the Apra Foundation is a valuable investment of your particular philanthropic abilities?
Yeah, so very on brand with the millennial giving base. I give to causes that I care about and where I can see direct impact from my giving.
Awesome.
APRA's a part of, 3 to 4 organizations where I'm a recurring donor.
Great.
I don't make a lot of money because we are in fundraising.
Yes.
But the money I do have, I want to see change being made through it.
Mm,
And our organizations that we work for are so reliant on us. And I think we are such an integral and important part of our organizations that having well-versed prospect development professionals is critical to organizational success. And
yes.
I can see the direct impact of my dollars, which is a rare thing to be able to see, like, oh, like my money is actually going to that. Like I can see it in real time. I get to meet the people that my money is helping support.
Totally. That's a huge element. I'm glad you mentioned that.
I know we are incredible stewards of the money that we receive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't hoard it away or, you
Yeah.
know, anything like that. We are very open with our philanthropic support.
Yes.
It's like how grateful the recipients are. They are also incredibly aware, like how precious the gift really is to their professional development work. So it's heartwarming all around.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you for that. And just for our final question, in what ways has your experience as a donor to APRA been professionally, personally meaningful to you and perhaps motivates you to continue supporting APRA?
Yeah, so my motivation to continue giving, again, very millennial on trend. It's a recurring gift.
Yeah.
I set it and forget it because I also have just no concept of the passage of time. And so if it weren't for, otherwise being nudged, like, hey, you normally give this time of year, I don't have to worry about that. I can just say, take my money once a month. And it also makes it so that it doesn't, you know, feel like I'm making any sort of sacrifice at like one time of year, like, oh, I need to like special reserve part of my budget this time of year. It's just always budgeted in. It's great. Um, Volunteers also get to be involved because they're part of the nominations committee and they're part of the selection process. They're part of
Right.
the foundation board, which is separate from the international board.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's just a good volunteer experience. It's a good um, donor experience, and it's a good stewardship experience for our recipients.
Yeah, absolutely. I second all of those points. And I'm very thankful for you, Cal, for being on the podcast today to talk about specifically your experiences as a donor to the APRA Foundation and what motivates your giving. And as a new director of the APRA board and as a member still on the APRA Foundation, really encourage people to thoughtfully consider supporting APRA this Giving Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. I'll put a link in the podcast episode for people to donate on the website and encourage everyone to visit the website when the interview airs next Monday. And really would appreciate all donations, all support on this Giving Tuesday to the APRA Foundation. And Cal, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing your personal experiences as a donor to the foundation. It's been really meaningful to connect with you in this capacity.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to gush about APRA.
Absolutely. And thank you for being such a strong advocate for APRA in lots of different ways. So it's great. Well, Cal, thank you again for your time. And for everyone, you'll be able to find Cal Sturgeon's conversation on various platforms next Monday, November 24th. LinkedIn, which will have a link to the audio video component of our conversation on YouTube. Podbean, with a link to Spotify, where you can hear Cal's audio only part of our conversation. And then thanks to my 100th guest, Luis Diaz of WISE and the Donor Participation Project. He is sponsoring my website, and that's where you can also find Cal's interview at peopleinfundraising.wordifysites.com. On behalf of the APRA Foundation and the APRA Board, thank you again for your support of APRA with your time and your gifts on Giving Tuesday. And Cal, have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.